Today is Saturday, March 2nd. Checking right about 9:30 a.m. I thought I'd come on and talk a little bit about the last couple of weeks have been up and down. It's with some challenges, and I was reminded through everything that was going on the last couple of weeks with me. The Spirit kept bringing me back to the theme of forgiveness. As Course in Miracles students, it's like central to our understanding, central to our forgiveness, is central to our freedom and release and the transformation that is happening in our minds and in our hearts with as we walk with the Holy Spirit as students of a course. And I had to really look closely at what that meant for myself in forgiving memories and old ideas and old habits and patterns that were still resurfacing that didn't serve me any longer, but I was still engaging in them. Opinions about things I think are happening in the world, just kind of looking at them and realizing I can let it go. There is no world out there for me to be arguing about at all. Nothing is worth giving up the peace of God for. And to each thing that comes up that seems to interfere with that peace, that's the time to ask the Holy Spirit to show me how to forgive and release this, see it correctly, see it through the eyes of love. Invite the peace of God, and then that's the fist, to see the truth beyond what this illusion of is showing me, what the world mind, world thinking is trying to show me. That there's a problem, some concern, something that has to be figured out, or something I have to be tight about. And the Course is brilliant at bringing us back through the workbook, of course, to what we need to allow our minds to be healed. So what it led me to is lesson 249. About forgiveness ends all the suffering and all loss. I'm going to lose something in the future, or some pain or suffering that I think is happening inside my own life with my body, or with someone else's perceived life outside of my own. Forgiveness, she says, ends all of this suffering, all this loss. Lesson 249. Read it together. Forgiveness paints a picture of the world where suffering is over. Forgiveness paints a picture of a world where suffering is over. No more suffering when forgiveness takes hold of the mind. When we can see past illusions that we picked up in this world about ourselves, about each other. Forgive this. A new world will arise. A picture of a world where the suffering that we think is there is completely over. And loss becomes impossible. It's impossible to lose anything from the vision of the world that forgiveness brings to us. Is impossible to lose. And anger makes no sense from what forgiveness brings to us. Attack is gone. Attack is gone. There's nobody to attack. We don't attack ourselves. We don't attack us. Can you imagine a world? Envision a world where attack is gone. There's no conflict, no wars, no fighting. Attack is gone in the world that forgiveness shows us. Forgiveness will bring to our vision, to our eyes. Attack is over and madness has an end. The insanity of the world that we think we're seeing has an end. What suffering is now conceivable? What suffering is now conceivable? What loss can be sustained? The world becomes a place of joy, abundance, charity, and endless giving. That's what the world becomes when forgiveness is accepted, when forgiveness rests upon everything and everyone that we see or think we see inside our mind or out in the world. When we forgive it, we see it innocent, blessed, and a part of ourselves. We let go of projecting anger, judgment, chaos, death, separation onto anything. When we truly forgive it and bless it and release it, he says, the world then becomes a place of joy, abundance, charity, and endless giving. It is now so like to heaven, says the Course. The world will look so much like heaven that it quickly is transformed into the light that it reflects. Wow. The world is now so like to heaven that it quickly is transformed into the light that it reflects. And so the journey which the Son of God began has ended in the light from which he came. The prayer that ends it, lesson 249, section 2, is the prayer. Father, Mother God, Creator Source. Father, Mother God, we would return our minds to you, Creator, divine love. We would return our minds to you. We have betrayed them, held them in a vice of bitterness, and frightened them with thoughts of violence and death. Now we would rest again in you, God. Now we would rest again in you, divine love, perfect peace. Now we would rest again in you as you created us. Forgiveness ends all sufferings. Forgiveness ends all suffering and loss. Let us forgive. Let's forgive ourselves. Let us forgive the world. Let us forgive. Let us practice the attempt to understand what it means to forgive. If it's going to end all suffering and loss, I want to understand how to do it.